Hello everyone, and welcome back to another installment of Chart Power, where we look at chart fundamentals and get a big picture of where we're at with the market. And what I want to look at today, the chart I want to look at today, is the total crypto market chart, which is all of the money that is currently in all cryptos, or at least the vast majority of the top cryptos. So this chart is interesting, and the way that I want to look at it is in terms of levels. Okay, you see a lot of people who look at charts, they tend to get really technical with a lot of shapes and angles and stuff like that. And some of that can be interesting, but I really like to start with the real basics, and you really don't get any more basic than looking at levels. And honestly, it can be very powerful and overlooked sometimes. So let's look at what's happening in this chart right here. All right. So this is all the money in cryptos, and this is the daily chart. So each one of these bars represents one day. So we're going back to January on this page right now. And as you can see, we had this really nice trend channel going here, right? Hitting all of these points on the top and on the bottom, extending back a little bit farther. Okay. Now, what happened here? Obviously, it broke through that. Now, what are these levels? So first of all, this top blue line, this is $2 trillion, all right? This second one down here is 1.8 trillion, and this bottom horizontal line is $1.5 trillion. All right, so what's important here is, well, I wanted to show you the trend there so you're aware of that, but let's not look at that trend channel and just look at what's going on with the levels during the same period, because a lot of people would look at that trend channel mostly and not really look at what's going on with these levels, and these are some very important levels. All right, first of all, the $1.5 trillion level. This is what happened the first time it hit it. It slowed down before crossing it and then shot through it, got to the top of this channel, bounced off of it, and then came back down to this 1.5 level again. And then you can see here, it slowed down again once it got to the $1.5 trillion level. And then once it broke through quite strongly. Now you can see it didn't go to the top of this channel again. It stopped at this $1.8 trillion level. And this is going to show up pretty often. All right, so look at this. We're back down to the 1.5. We go up, and then it bounces between 2 trillion and sits on that 1.8 once again. And then once it does go up to that channel, to the top of the trend channel, look at where it comes back down to, the 1.8 again. And then it shoots up top of the channel. And then here's the thing. This is where, when different indicators align, it can really be pretty significant. But before we get to that, I want to discuss what happened at the top here. This is the day that Elon Musk tweeted that Tesla would no longer accept Bitcoin for Tesla purchases. And the market absolutely got crushed. And that's really the narrative that everyone wants to talk about all the time. Elon Musk destroyed the markets. Elon Musk destroyed the markets, right? Everybody's heard about that. However, if you look at the chart, I mean, you know, what happened back here? He didn't tweet back here, right? And he didn't tweet back here. So it's really because several events came together at the same time. This was at the top of that trend channel. It was likely to come off anyway. He just added fuel to the fire. Fine. So that brings us down here, brings us back down to the $2 trillion level. Well, that didn't hold. obviously, because possibly the trend channel was below the $2 trillion mark. So it was pretty easy to guess that the market might fall down to this area. Now, when it did break through this area, this was actually very significant because not only did it break through that trend channel, but it broke through this $1.8 trillion level, which it had been bouncing off of over and over and over. So it broke through two very significant areas. That makes a big difference. All right. But I want to talk about where we're at now. That's how we got here, all right? But this is where we're at now, all right? This area. So when the markets really crashed, you can see they fell below the $1.5 trillion level, but they, for the most part, got back above that level pretty quickly. And then what has been going on since then? It has been mostly bouncing between the 1.5 and the 1.8. Now, guess what happened right here? Elon Musk, this is a really terrible arrow, but Elon Musk tweeted again right here, and everyone said, "Oh my God, Elon Musk destroyed the markets." And so they started heading south. But them heading south was not surprising to me. And in fact, I was fairly prepared for that because I have seen how these markets are bouncing off of the $1.8 trillion level. So the question is, what happens next, right? Let me move this over a little bit and zoom in a little bit. All right, so even in this area, you can see that there is a little bit, I mean, it's not a very strong position here. I mean, this is kind of going straight across, and this is kind of going upwards here. So if this bottom angled line is significant and this $1.5 trillion level is significant also, this is a major deciding point for the markets, okay? If it goes through this area, that's short-term bad news for the markets, right? Because we don't know where it's going to stop going down. Now, on the other hand, if it bounces off here, then, well, it's just doing what it's been doing for, several weeks at this point. So that's really what we want to watch out for. This $1.5 trillion level, this is what I'm watching out for. Now, some people are complaining and saying, oh, well, the market, it was heading past the $1.8 trillion level and Elon Musk ruined it. But, I mean, he didn't tweet anything in this area. So, why did it go down there? People just like to match up certain things that don't necessarily have really to do with anything. And the fact is, it could very well have been heading down anyway. So, all right, so that's where we are in the total crypto market situation, the levels, and with Elon Musk. All right, so I also want to look quickly at the Chainlink chart. Now, yesterday I looked at, I made a video about the trends and the channels for Chainlink. I did not cover the levels yet because I wanted to do it in this video. So let's take a look. All right, so first of all, what's going on with these levels? Well, okay, so we had this big break, just like in the total market. It's somewhat similar. It went down to, it hit a low of $15 down at the bottom. It found a little bit of support here at $20 where these candles opened and closed there at 20, and then it slowly worked its way back up to $35. Now, the $35 level, again, two different big major factors aligning at the same time. So you had this big trend channel on this line here, and this $35 price level at the same exact spot. So that was a big point of resistance. It was going to be very hard for the market to push through that area. So really not that surprising that it came back down. But this is what's so interesting about these charts, is that it bounced off. People who trade this stuff and buy and sell, they like the round numbers or the significant numbers. That's why it stopped at 15 down here, and this is why this stopped at 25, and this hit 35 here. So you have to keep those certain numbers in mind. Now, what are we doing here? Just like the total market chart. It started heading lower down here. It broke this minor little trend going on here, and it's heading down. Now, I am a big fan of Chainlink, and I'm bullish on it. So I would like to obviously see it bounce here, but much like the total market chart, if it doesn't hold this area, it could be looking, we don't know where it's going to stop. However, if it holds this area, see, it's already, but just in the time of making this video, it's already looking like it's breaking this little minor trend here. And I'll definitely be watching for it to hold or not hold the $25 level. That's kind of the make or break level right now. $25 for Chainlink. Will it hold that or not? And if it doesn't hold that, if the total market continues lower, will everyone blame Elon Musk? Probably. He keeps tweeting things. Everyone thinks he's got better things to do, but he doesn't. I don't know. It's kind of wild and crazy. But he's not an idiot. He's not an idiot. So what is his deal? Well, we do talk about that on the channel every time some Elon Musk news comes up. So we will probably cover that some more in the future. So if you want to catch those videos, make sure you subscribe to this channel so you can get notified of that. And so I wanted to just go back to the total market chart one more time and just look at the $1.5 trillion level. I marked off the 1.8 trillion. When we're talking about make or break, let me get rid of some of these notations I've made here. And let's just look at the $1.5 trillion level, because that's really where we're at right now. Well, we're coming to that. Again, make or break situation. And let me just mark off how many times we have worked that area. So here, nope, come on, tool. Where are you? There you are. Okay. So here, 1.5 trillion. Look at this. Just bouncing all around that, back down to it right here, and heading towards it once again. Will $1.5 trillion hold? Well, I'll tell you what, in trading and investing, the best you can do is work with probabilities. There are no certainties, but I personally am looking to put a little bit more money into the market. I wanted to see what the outcome of this big drop was going to be. It seems to have found a little bit of support in this area. Of course, it can head lower. It can head lower right now. Elon Musk could wink and nod his head and do a dance and send the markets down into the pits of despair, apparently. I'm just kidding, because I think a lot of that is just people trying to put that responsibility on him. Anyway, the point is, yes, it could go lower. However, as far as I'm concerned, if I was someone looking to put a little more money in the market, find a good place to buy, which I am actually, there is one crypto we covered in a video a few days ago called Polygon, or the symbol is Matic. I was looking for a good place to buy that, and frankly, at this $1.5 trillion level, that's where I'm looking to do that. Okay, so that's all I have for you today. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time. If you found this information useful, please give it a thumbs up, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.